Hi, I'm Tara Cummings. I'm your friendly neighborhood psychologist, and I'm bringing you some wellness wisdom today. As it is, life can be pretty overwhelming. It can be really difficult to balance all of our various responsibilities and obligations, not to mention our own needs and preferences and interests. Add to that a drive toward activism, and we can find ourselves teetering ever closer to the edge of burnout and breakdown. None of us can manage to do all of the activisty activities that are available to us, that are out there in our communities. We have to be able to prioritize. We have to be able to pick and choose if we want to be able to do any good for the causes that we care about. And we all know that. That's not news to anybody. The trick is in actually managing that balancing, is in actually preventing burnout and breakdown. One way you can do that is by developing and then sticking to your own personal, individual style of activism. So I want you to think about all of the different activist activities that are available to you, all of the things you could be doing. I'm going to start listing some. You be thinking of some of your own, and when I finish and when you finish thinking, we could keep going forever and ever and ever. You could call your reps. You could visit their offices. You could attend their town halls if ever they should have them. You can lobby and keep up with pending legislation. You can participate in grassroots events and organizations and groups. You can attend resistance training and workshops. You can donate money to organizations. You can volunteer or donate your time to organizations. You can donate your own expertise, skills, or services. You can participate in protests and rallies. You can keep up with all of the current information, current events. You can correct misinformation when you come across it. You can do outreach with your own friends and family and people close to you. You can do broader community outreach. You can participate in good old social media activism. You can support campaigns. You can register voters. You can run for office yourself, and on and on and on. That is too much for any of us to engage in, and especially when we think the list goes on and on and on forever. So developing your own personal individual style of activism can be really helpful in simply narrowing down that list to a number of things that's manageable and feasible, and to finding activities that are the best fit for you. So when I first felt this drive toward activism, at first I started by trying to do all of the activisty things, and I quickly found myself overwhelmed and needed to make a change. And so then I went about this sort of haphazard, close your eyes, point your finger, and pick something, because I felt like I needed to do a little bit of this, and I needed to do a little bit of that. I needed to kind of hit all of the different categories. And I ended up being really scattered and feeling just like I wasn't getting anywhere, and I just felt miserable. And using the style analogy, I was a little bit like that crazy bag lady who you see like around town wearing like a ball gown with Crocs and a sun hat and woolly winter mittens. It didn't make any sense. It doesn't feel good. It's just not working. We just need to change something. And that was the point when I decided I have to figure out what works for me. What's my style? What's a good fit for me? And to try and come up to kind of like be systematic about it so that I could continue to implement this, to choose activities to keep myself rolling. So I revisited that list of all of the potential activities, and I decided to ask myself 3 questions to help narrow that down and help understand my own style of activism, what's going to be a good fit for me. The first question, and these are questions I encourage you to ask yourself, is which activities would utilize your skills and talents and strengths? Those are the activities that you can contribute well to. You can be meaningful and impactful in your contributions there. These wellness posts utilize my skills as a psychologist and my prior experience as a teacher, so it's a good fit for me. The second question you can ask yourself is which activities involve components that I enjoy and that are invigorating to me. Those are activities that you would feel good engaging in, that feel good to be a part of. So I really like learning new things. It doesn't really matter what it is. If it's new to me, I'm interested in it. And I like interacting with other people. So any activity that has a social component and a learning component, like trainings and workshops, planning events, things like that, things that are kind of outside of my normal realm, I really enjoy those things. They're fun. They feel good to engage in. The third question you can ask yourself is, which activities would be feasible for you in terms of time, money, energy, other practical logistical components? Those are the activities that you can actually do, things that are actually possible to be done in your life. So for me, I work Monday through Friday, normal business hours, which is the same time that my members of Congress's office are open. So I'm not going to be able to regularly visit their offices unless I happen to be off a day or take off a special day. So I kind of just cross that off of my list and focus on activities instead that occur on the weekends or during the evenings that fit my schedule, that are feasible for me. There is a Planned Parenthood brunch coming up that I really want to go to, and it is crazy expensive for a seat. It's not feasible. So I have, as much as it bums me out, I've crossed that off of my list and can focus on things that are feasible to me. So by asking yourself those three questions, which activities use my skills, are enjoyable and invigorating to me, and are feasible for me, and by selecting activities that meet all three of those criteria, you're able to narrow down the activities that are going to be the best fit for you. And that, collectively, is your personal style of activism. You can look at kind of the patterns for that, and you can continue to apply that over time. By, over time, selecting those types of activities that are within your personal style of activism, you're much more likely to sustain your efforts in the long term and to feel good and effective in it. And you're, importantly, not likely or less likely to become burned out or overburdened in the process. So if you imagine a person who has young children that they care for and they hate crowds, probably participating in protests and rallies isn't going to be a good fit. It's not going to be within their personal style of activism. But let's imagine that same person is a pretty clever wordsmith and a decent artist. So that person might be able to participate in protests and rallies by doing something like helping people that are going to go make really cute and clever signs for those things. So there are ways that you can kind of extend into domains that don't neatly fit within your style of activism, but are still a good fit for you and that you are a good fit for, that you can do well in. By developing that personal style of activism, you don't have to worry about what you're not doing, because what you are doing is going to feel good and feel effective to you. You're going to be able to really be okay with, as the kids would say, you do you. You're going to be okay with that. It's going to feel good to you. And not only will it feel better and you're less likely to get burned out, it's also really important for the effectiveness of the cause itself and for social change. Having a diversity of tactics among the group of people who share those values and share the interest in that cause helps move it along. What activities don't float your boat and aren't well suited for you will be well suited for somebody else. So leave those things for those people. Focus on your own style, what is a good fit for you. I hope that you're able to develop your own activism style and stick within it, and that that's useful and beneficial to you and to the causes that are important to you. I appreciate you watching, and take care.